Hi, my name is Noel Davis with Wormiculture, and today we're going to do an update of our compost bin and see how it's doing. It's been a couple weeks. I've been adding some coffee grounds and stuff, but I haven't really added any other material. And we're going to take a look and see if all the food's been digested, and if maybe it's almost time to really sort this out, but we're probably going to add some food this time, and maybe next time we'll sort it out. So let's go to the bin and take a look and see how it's doing. So we have our bin right here. Actually, I'm going to point this down a little bit more. So here's our bin, bin C. Let's take a look. Oh, very wet. It's a little bit too wet in here probably. Water's just dripping off the bin. So, as you can see, it's very wet. So there's too much moisture in here. Let's just take a look. I guess you can tell, coffee grounds in here. It's starting to get a little compacted. Oh my gosh, tons of worms. Tons and tons of worms. They are in this the cardboard in the bottom now, which is a good sign, but look at this. There's tons of worms in here. And they're all through the bedding and everything. So you can see, let me just see if I hold this up a little high. You can see the little pieces of white on there. Those are actually the crushed eggshells. They've soaked through the bin, I guess, and come all the way down to the bottom. Actually, the moisture level in here isn't too bad, really. I mean, it's definitely wet. There's a cocoon on there, right where my thumb is. So there's definitely food in here with the paper, the cardboard and paper in the bottom. So they're starting to eat that because they're running out of food, I'm guessing. Let's just dig into this side a little bit. Same thing. It is I have to say the compost has kept this from getting overly compact. It still flakes apart pretty well. I mean, I've had other bins before where you just go to dig in like this and it's compact, and then you pick it up and like this will fall apart and flakes apart pretty quickly. Usually that doesn't happen when they're really compact, when it's just cardboard that you're using. You don't have any of this fibrous material such as these sticks like this in there. When you have stuff like that, it kind of, I guess, always allows some air to flow a little bit. So it's not nearly as compact as it could be. Not as many worms on this side. I must have fed this side last, and they're still over there. But there's still worms over here too. See, like stuff like this isn't going to break down really in the bin. I mean, look at that. So we've gone over that before, but you know, let's just take a look here. So this side isn't nearly as wet, it feels like. There's still worms, as you can tell. I mean, you can see a huge amount in here. They don't seem to be as lively as they usually are, although I thought some of these are. But there's a lot of worms in here still. I'm actually quite impressed. I thought that the numbers might have dwindled because of the fact that I have not fed them. There is no odor to this bin still. It's still an odorless bin, which is nice. I am seeing a huge amount of cocoons in here, which means that they're doing really well, or getting the materials that they need so that way they produce them. Alright, let's just dig this side up. We're going to dig this side up here. I think this is probably pretty close to being ready to sort, but unfortunately I don't have the time quite today to do that. And I don't have another bin ready to go. I have a couple that are almost ready, but not quite ready yet to add more worms to for when after I sort this one. And I won't have this one ready quite right away because I need to increase the size of the holes in this one, so I don't want to put anything back in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to empty out this side just like this. Let me just grab my cardboard. We're going to add some cardboard over here, which I always keep some shredded, pre-shredded and ready to go. And we're going to add in a variety of food here. First thing we're going to add, which I've been trying to get better about adding. Hold on a second, let me just pick some of this stuff off the floor that fell to the side. Are these crushed eggshells. I'm trying to get better about adding these to my bins. I've not been very good in the past, but I'm trying to get better with it. So there we go. There's some crushed eggshells. And then we're going to add a variety of food this time. I know we've been adding a lot of watermelon. This time we have banana peel, cucumber, looks like some pepper, And it looks like that might be it, but we're going to just dump that in. These are, of course, frozen, as I always have my stuff kind of frozen. This stuff thaws out pretty quick, though, I found. Oh, there's also a coffee grounds in there, too. There's plenty of those in the bin, but that's all right. So there we go. We're going to add that in. Make sure we get all that stuff out of there. And then I also have, which I've been adding in almost every time to my bins, is some watermelon here. I've got tons of watermelon. I've been eating a lot of watermelon lately. It's supposed to be really good for your cardiovascular system, so I've been trying to eat more. And in the process, I get a lot more rinds. So add in some of that too. I think that's a good amount. We're going to throw some more cardboard on top of this, just so there's no some place for all this moisture to get sucked into, instead of just going right in back to the top of the bin like it's been doing. We're going to do that, and then we're going to cover this back up, and that's going to prevent the bugs from getting in. The worms are going to migrate over to here, and I have to say, this bin's doing really well. I didn't think it would with this leaf compost. I really thought that it might heat up and might kill them. I wasn't sure, and it's actually doing very well. That's why this was sort of a test bin. And I mean, it's just, you can see there's worms all over the top here. They definitely go for the food, so there's a lot more on one side than the other. Let me make sure all these worms are off my gloves now. By the way, I highly recommend you use gloves when you're working with worms, or plastic tools, because you don't want to get your oils from your hands all over the bins. And also, I have found that after I work with these bins, it's almost as if like I was working on a car or something. My hands turn black after a while. So that's why I now always wear gloves, or use a tool to dig in my bins. So there we go. There's the update for this week. Bin's looking good. I'll probably let this sit for another week or two, finish up all the food that's in there, and maybe see if they can finish up some of this cardboard too that's in the bin still. There's still a lot of cardboard in here, and it takes a little longer to break down. But I'd like them to kind of digest this a little bit more before I really start trying to sift through it and get all the worms out. And I'm going to try my new process as well, which we'll see how that works hopefully soon. So thank you. If you like these videos, please subscribe and click like. And I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much.